I normally don't consider myself a fanboy, but if there's a brand I particularly like, it's Panasonic, because overall, I think their camera division just gets it. The cameras aren't flashy, but they're solid. They've got good ergonomics, but sacrifice on looks. They opt for reliability over cutting-edge specs, but overall there's clear lines between the products. But this week, Panasonic announced they'll be releasing a firmware update to their Pro line of cameras. That's the G9, the GH5, the GH5S, and their S line cameras. Of those cameras, the G9 has received the most attention, and while many G9 owners and prospective buyers are jumping for joy over the free major upgrade, I say hold on a sec, especially if you care about video. Because in reality, Panasonic is staying true to its identity. They haven't muddied the lines between their products, and that means the G9 is still not a professional video camera. Let's have a look at the specs. In the new firmware, you're going to get 4K 422 10-bit, which sounds amazing. You have 4K 60 FPS on an external recorder. You have variable frame rates from 2 FPS to 180 FPS, and 4K from 2 FPS to 60 FPS. You even get HDR video. They even added Vlog L capability, which doesn't come free with the firmware update, but at least now you have the choice of being able to buy it or not. So like I said, there's a lot of people online that are really happy about this upgrade, but it's really not a game changer, and that's what I want to clarify in this video. YouTube was lit with the 4K craze 4 years ago, but like I explained in one of my earlier videos, it's gonna take a long time for 4K to be the standard. Even now, 4 years later, 1080p is still by far the standard, and it's not just on YouTube, it's on most platforms. So what this means is you aren't necessarily gonna benefit from the added video capability, and it's really gonna be more of a hassle handling bigger files that's bogging down your computer. However, if you're shooting video professionally, I think that's where things change just slightly. See, while that 4K 422 10-bit is nice, and that's definitely professional footage right there, you're probably not shooting all your projects or even most of the stuff in that setting. And that's the gotcha deal right here. See, the G9 is Panasonic's Micro Four Thirds photographic flagship model, and that hasn't changed. If I were a serious videographer and my livelihood depended on this camera, and I had to make it my A camera, it wouldn't replace my GH5. So with that, let's revisit that spec sheet again. It's got Vlog L, but it looks like it's only in 8-bit, so limited color grading. It has 4K 422 10-bit, which is definitely nice, but it doesn't have that in 1080p. And if this were going to be just my one camera or even just my A camera, I would definitely want both 4K and 1080p in those high bit rates. In fact, let me double down on this point. See, the G9's 1080p shoots no higher than 28 megabits per second. That's literally no better than any lower to mid-tier level Panasonic camera, like the G7 you probably own. I mean, come on, you watch my channel. But the point still stands. In 2019, many serious videographers still opt for good 1080p, higher bitrate that's gradable over 4K with less flexibility. But I didn't want to make this video all doom and gloom. I mean, G9 owners rejoice. I mean, you just got a major free upgrade, and I didn't even talk about any of the autofocus capabilities that they've added to this camera. For G9 prospective buyers, go ahead and snag this camera. I mean, you just got a whole lot of bang for the same buck. For G95, G85, and G7 owners into video, don't look at the G9 for video features. If you're looking at video stuff, go with the GH5. It's only a couple $100 more. You're gonna get so much more for your buck. If you're looking at the G9 though for its photo features and other specs like better build quality, go ahead and get it, because as an overall hybrid camera, a little bit of photos, a little bit of videos, it makes it that much more compelling against more expensive offerings like the Fuji X-T3 and the Sony a6600. But for serious videographers that already own the GH5 or GH5S or are looking at those cameras, the G9 is not your new A camera. Don't get it twisted. Panasonic is staying true to its lineup. The G9 is still firmly its flagship Micro Four Thirds stills camera, and at best, only a B cam for professional video.